Good afternoon. We are still playing Stasis. Let's get on with things. Yeah, there we go. Now I am good and ready and set up. Just maybe I'm oversharing a bit here, but yeah, I'm kind of actually still fighting off a little bit of motion sickness after playing Nier earlier today. That is Nier original on the PS3. I hope it doesn't cause any problems, but anyway, we have a bit of plot development to deal with. Like so.
Signal, John. You need to hurry. We're close.
So that's the game telling us that we are now at the end game. But first I just want to point out one little inaccuracy in that statement you made before. I mean Dr. Milan made. He said he cured cancer, HIV, Ebola and all that by generating these creatures. But he did not actually cure cancer. Well, you see, cancer is just, well, at a sort of nuts and bolts level, what cancer is a failure to block cell division, or failure to control it in a limiting way, so that it just careens out of control. If you have a multicellular organism, cancer will always, be a risk. I mean, every multicellular creature can develop cancer. Even these little hybrids can develop cancer. And arguably I wouldn't be surprised if at least like 2/3 of them would have. But now I'm injecting real life into science fiction work. We don't need that. Let's read some PDAs instead. These are maybe not the final PDAs of the game, but they are kind of pivotal. Or I mean, well, they're a big deal, okay? Because Dr. Milan here is our big cookie cutter villain. And to be honest, I don't think they, wrote him very well. But anyway, the new year begins, the wheel turns, and the Groomlick continues to lead the vanguard of scientific discovery for all of humankind. Yet I feel dissatisfied. Even as the peons who work under me celebrate the new year, I wonder, why? Why would you celebrate such an asinine concept as an outdated Gregorian calendar on a ship that's currently swimming through the depths of space? That's actually an apt observation. I will give him that. The reason is clear. Comfort. They fear the unknown, the alien, the impossible. I do not. I embrace the unforgiving cosmos with open arms. The problem with the research we do is the humans doing it, constrained as they are by conscience, remorse, and sometimes even fear. We try to grasp the infinite and give it a framework that ill fits its cosmic splendor. This is my 10th year as Special Project Director for Kane Corporation. Despite my discoveries and quests for knowledge, I am held back at every turn by paperwork, moralizing scientists, and a group of degenerate toadies that I sit on the board with. If I were rid of them, then my word would be God. My word. Not the word of a corporation. Still, they have their uses. The research is funded by Kane, and the Groom Lake is kept running by the money and personnel they provide. But the time will come when all this changes. You mark my words. I'm inundated with emails from all departments about inconsistencies with storage and contaminated samples. This grand masquerade is sometimes more tedious than it's actually worth, suggesting that he's responsible for it. Worst of all was Dr. Way, and that technician, Miss Callister, is it? I normally make short work of such troublemakers, but it hardly seems worthwhile. Troublemakers must be allowed to make trouble, because if they disappear, that legitimizes their claims, and somebody will always take up the Fallen Crusader's torch. Dr. Backman's tendencies are becoming harder to restrain. I'm well aware of his shortcomings. The old man is as brilliant as he is deranged, yet manages to go about his work with a sociopathic glee. He's useful to have around. He has requested more bodies for seed, specifically more women who were recently pregnant. That is problematic, as we have very few such women on board, and imports are not easy to come by. We may have to play this one under the radar. Oh, lovely, Mr. Man. Nothing important there. There was something just happened on my phone. That fool, Dr. Gray, complained yet again about his beloved insects becoming more aggressive as a result of the power outages. So what? Let them spill out onto the decks as far as I'm concerned. The importance of seed outranks the hydroponics project work by 1,000 to 1. I do like playing chess with Dr. Gray, of course. See? I said he would refer to it. I win every time. A little fact he's unlikely to tell anyone, although he does seem quite happy to contact anyone who's interested with the opinion that he'd be the next best candidate for my job. Sebastian, you would not, could not, handle what I do. If you believe otherwise, then you are as great a fool as I imagine you to be. When the day that I foresee comes, your rotting corpse will be under my feet. And I will laugh. Sorry, just pressing my throat a little. Dr. Williams is still under the delusion that I don't know about her personal research. Officially, it's illegal for staff to conduct their own research, but this is interesting. Recreating her dead lover in the form of a hybrid? How fascinating. If it works, I'll make use of it. If it doesn't, then it'll burn with the rest of the rejects. The woman is obsessed, and I know that DeSantos is playing no small part in feeding her delusions. I know her secret research won't cause me any problems, or I would never have allowed her on Project Seed. So, the burning question here is, whose hybrid is that on the stretcher right here? Or whatever it's called. So, it seems contaminated waste from the corpse disposal overspill is contaminating the ship. It's causing fungal growth, or so my various drones tell me. The fungus is a riveting proposition, though. While I'm angry at Dr. Backman for terminating more subjects than strictly necessary, these unintended side effects are fascinating. I intimated as much to Dr. Gray, and of course stroked his ego with hints at promotion and glory. He'll keep the fungus alive. The engineers want it destroyed, but I'm sure we can delay that. This experiment is becoming more engaging by the day, and I haven't even had to lift a finger. So while they clog up my inbox with demands and Rome burns, I plan to play violin. I'm more than secure here anyway, and this has a certain inevitability about it. I must record the daily developments as the experiment grows. It is as I foresaw. Panic, destruction, and mayhem. And yet Seed continues apace. Once the fervor and the flame dies down, we'll sweep the decks of detritus and repurpose all of it for my beautiful hybrid creations. No more growing plants for the good of mankind. God is no longer in the machine, my friends. I am God. Huh, what a lovely little man. I just had had to deal with my dinner a little, apparently. It's not standing quite as still as I thought it should. Well, anyway, my beautiful children have excelled themselves. They kill, they learn, they adapt. A primal species without any of the trappings of morality. It's their time now. They almost came to be once, many years ago, but were snuffed out by humanity, afraid of its natural successors. This systematic extermination was given a name, the eugenics wars. The public knew it as corporate warfare. In truth, it was a coordinated genocide. Humanity wasn't ready for Professor Garand's astounding discovery and sought to destroy it. His work was not perfect, of course, that's where I came in. I spent most of my life as part of Kane, trying to access Professor Garand's original work. Old Man Kane pushed me to the top because we share an ideal, the utilization of science for the perfection of humanity. Sorry. Where we differed were the methods by which this was to be achieved. Not that he had much more to say after I held that pillow to his face as he lay in his hospital bed. All for a higher purpose. Creation of our species from raw subjects will become impossible now that the crew are dead, dying, or unclean, but that's hardly an issue. Any subjects who are flawed or imperfect have been turned into the fertilizer that will nurture the perfection of the surviving race. Now the challenge is moving the Groom Lake out of range of any other ships. No one can be allowed to escape this ship alive. Any good, strong survivors will become members of the new race. I am their creator. I control. I transcend. DeSantos, I'm so very disappointed in you. A distress signal? I thought we were all one mind here in Seed. I'll castrate and destroy you for this betrayal. Your flawed body is hardly worthy of becoming one of my children, but for now I must turn off this accursed signal. You cannot hide from me, Marvin, you drug-peddling little fuck. And that's not peddling with an A, that's peddling with two Ds. You little misspelling mad scientist fuck. And that's it for that PDA. What are you doing up there? Well, we have of course another PDA to check here first, but I want to rest my voice a bit and do this first. So, notice this gauge filling up. Let's not right now. Let's do the PDA first. Oh, well, this one seems short at least. I've been reassigned to investigate the disappearance and murder of 2 scientists in the employ of Dr. Milan. A strange matter to be sure. I've been observing the movements of some of these eggheads, and I can't say I'm too impressed. Doesn't anybody around here record their comings or goings, or make any notes? There is no traditional organization in the department whatsoever. Project Seed answers to nobody, this I know. But I thought these scientific types always made notes. Not that I care about admin, but I very much care about finding out who's selling weapons-grade secrets. Industrial secrets are a matter of life and death, especially death in this case. My investigation will be thorough, and no stone will be left unturned. The staff here are strange, and in fact, I'd say lots of them are even crazy. But I couldn't care less about that. I just want names and answers. I got this job because I get things done, not because of my warm and caring personality. At the moment, people are taking umbrage to my investigation, but security is a constant and essential part of shipboard life, especially when we're talking about industrial espionage. I'm not sure where the 2 missing scientists are, but it seems, based on the modified records I found, that they were killed and ejected into space. I hope I didn't say anything else. Any other man would assume that these two were the criminals, but I don't buy that. As far as suspects go, I've ruled out Charlotte Williams and Marvin DeSantos. Charlotte because she doesn't know where she is half of the time, and DeSantos because he's just a smirking shit for brains. I'm confident that he's involved in drug dealing, and I will give him this. He is cautious. Double the fun, double the is's, something, maybe? And acts like he's a real ladies' man. But I know the truth. I've seen him rejected repeatedly at the bar. Give me just a minute here. Okay, let's keep at it. Since July, I've had to operate under the pretense that I'm an assistant. It's lucky that in my career I had some emergency room experience. The only other person who knows about my true purpose here is Dr. Milan. He's been encouraging. He constantly supplies me with information that I require for my investigation, and at times is a little over-helpful. Still, he seems honest enough. For the record, I'm well aware of the kind of man Dr. Milan is. I've seen his experiments with my own eyes. I've seen what happens when the bodies are disposed of, and the burning fires of the furnaces. But he does what's required to justify the means. There are few men in this world who will do what has to be done. For that, I admire him. He told me to watch over Dr. Williams' experiments. It seems they're unofficial, and although I prepared a report to Kane to have her removed from her position, Dr. Milan immediately overrode my request. I respect him, but to be honest, I don't like having my authority overruled. Yeah, my throat is getting worn. Backman, of all people, was sniffing around today. It seems the old psychopath suddenly became curious. I asked Dr. Milan for further instructions, and he told me to incapacitate the old man. Yes, I did. I fear I had to break the old guy's kneecaps. Oh, wait. We read about this in a previous PDA. Honestly, I was hoping to slit his throat, but Dr. Milan insisted that he remain alive. Alive and in pain, but unable to move. I'm revising my earlier opinion of that DeSantos character. I still think he's a pathetic little shit, but I now believe he was partly responsible for some of the stolen information. He strikes me as an amateur put up to this by an outside agent. I'll deal with DeSantos soon, but first, I've got to monitor his movements. Make one move, pal, and I'll have you. And the last one. Dr. Milan has earmarked me for one of his experiments. I know this because when I attempted to leave the ship to report to Kane Corp, I discovered that my access was restricted and blocked. I came back to my quarters and found Milan waiting here. He was waiting with two of those hellish critters that he's created. I'm not squeamish, but those things make me nauseous. I'm currently awaiting what he calls processing. I suppose at this stage I should make peace with God. I've killed many men in my life, and I'll never say that I feel remorse for it. And I won't give Dr. Milan the satisfaction of hearing me pray for mercy. My last notes on this affair are that Dr. Milan himself is at the heart of the events on board the ship. I was blind to it. I refused to believe that he was capable of creating such devastation. I always thought that scientists like control, but Dr. Milan breaks all the rules as far as science is concerned. The leaked information, the fungal growth, the missing scientists. I'm beginning to suspect he even knew that DeSantos was actually selling intelligence, and may have fed him the information to sell. To what end, I don't know. I suspect it was because DeSantos kept Backman drugged to the eyeballs with whatever powerful stimulants he happened to have, so Backman could continue his work. I can hear the machines being turned on. I welcome my fate. At least I know that I did my job for King Corporation. So, yeah, that was apparently Robert Lincoln. And now, surgical laser, go. Oops. Let's try that again. So, yeah, oops. And that's how you open doors. By the way, I MacGyvered something else today. Or, no? That was yesterday. Yeah. The zipper on my backpack had the handle on it had broken loose, so I wondered if I could fix it with a hammer. My father instead pulled out some kind of pliers and, yeah. I MacGyvered it. Works now. Anyway, we have a game to play. Let's see. We should just move on, yes.
Warning. The environmental control and life support system has been compromised. Please report to the visitor center for further instructions.
Oh, there's nothing interesting in this room. Just so you know.
Abnormal neural activity detected.
Let's see. Mask zone. I don't have a mask, so I don't think I will open this door. Sinister signs displayed along the walls. Annual testing. Gas mask zone. Delightful. I think perhaps I should be going this way. Let's see. Yeah. Here we go. And cages with dead hybrids in them. Oh. How nice. Bullshit. Yeah. I knew that was gonna happen, but well. Yeah. We actually need to trigger that well, jump scare to continue the story. Why, I will never know. I think that is really not good game planning. You know, I mean, event design, I mean, you know, game progression. But that's just me. Let's see, that isn't spelled correctly apparently. Let's see what else. And okay. First we approach so we don't open the door. What do we see? I think I will stay out of this room. Thank you very much. Is this the corpse disposal? What's it? I'm out of here. Oh, hello. Smoky, smoky. Well, spoiler alert, I did not actually die. And that's Milan coming for us.
is my responsibility. Mr. Maracek, you sneaky bastard. Not to worry, I can speed up this little family reunion.
What have you done with Rebecca?
She's right here.
Rebecca!
You took away my life's work, Mr. Maracek. Now let me return the favor. Please have it open. Enjoy the show. I'm off to deal with Judas.
So that doesn't sound very nice, does it? So yeah, this is supposed to be the main character's daughter. So let's do the right thing and try to bust her out and maybe run all the way there. Oh, hello. So, I think this is a good opportunity to call it an end of this episode. And when we come back, let's find something pointy, long, and scorching hot to shove into either orifice on Dr. Milan, shall we?